It's finally been revealed. We have some major Patriots updates on the 53-man roster that was officially released this late afternoon. And on today's show, we are going to break down all 53 roster spots, including surprise makes and surprise cuts. Welcome into Patriots Digest, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. We have the official 53-man roster, and we're going to break down the entirety of it for this video. Before that, I got to let y'all in on a little bit of beef that's happening right now. You see, New York Jets Digest is in my DMs as of late, laughing at me, saying the Patriots Digest is never going to hit 1,000 subscribers, and that in fact they have a bet for us, saying there's no way we are going to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the week. And I said, all right, I see what you're talking about, but Patriots Nation has my back. We're going to hit 500 subscribers easily by the end of this week. So today is Tuesday. We have until Sunday to get there. That's 400 subscribers, but I know that here on Patriots Digest, we are building a Patriots community, and we have free Patriots content for you every single day. Let's prove Jets Digest wrong and hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about the 53-man roster for the New England Patriots as it has officially been released. There has been some surprise cuts, some surprise makes, and today we are going to go through it all position by position on the official roster for your 2025 New England Patriots. We start first with the quarterbacks. No surprise here. The two guys that were on the roster stay on the roster. Those being Drake Maye and Josh Dobbs. Now, Ben Wooldridge is technically still there. He was cut. There's the potential for him to be brought back on the practice squad. However, I do think the Patriots, as we mentioned in yesterday's video, go out and get somebody like Hendon Hooker or Tommy DeVito to fill that QB3 slot rather than bring back Wooldridge. He showed really nothing in the preseason, and I'd rather have Hooker, who had a very good collegiate career and injuries have kind of derailed it, or have Tommy DeVito, who has proven NFL experience and in some ways a winning attitude as well. I really like the way that he was used in New York, and I think he'd be a perfect QB3 fit here for the Patriots. We'll have to wait and see, though. I do believe a quarterback 3 is coming on the practice squad. Don't have the official 16 practice squad numbers just yet. That'll be a future video coming out, hopefully by tomorrow, will be my guess. So we'll have that coming to you later. Time to go to the running backs here. We talk about the obvious 3 that made the team. Antonio Gibson, and then, of course, this year's draft pick, second rounder, TreVeyon Henderson, and Rhamondre Stevenson are your 3 running backs for the New England Patriots. No surprises here. TreVeyon, I think by the end of the year, is going to be the starting back, but in a recent social media post, Antonio Gibson and Rhamondre Stevenson both said they are more than happy to share reps across, and they seem like they have a winning attitude. I think this year is definitely something that is building a more of a team-friendly environment, a team-first environment for Mike Vrable. A lot more camaraderie in this team than we've seen in the past couple years, and I really do think that is a really good point, first of all, to make, and second of all, you're seeing it by Gibson and Stevenson being very open that, hey, we're going to share reps, we're going to love it, we're going to have Henderson in here. This is going to be a good running back room. It's not going to be I'm going to do good. It's going to be a team is going to do good, which is something that I really, really like to see, especially given maybe some of the, I'm not going to call them bad team environments we've had, but definitely not as good as we have had in this season. We go to the tight ends, as this is also not a surprising one. Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, and Jack Westover. This was most predictions for the New England Patriots on the 3 guys who are going to make the roster. Henry is going to be our starter. I like Hooper as a backup tight end. Obviously, we know in past Patriots additions, especially with Josh McDaniels, 2 tight ends are very useful to have. I also do like Jack Westover for a couple of different reasons. I think he is a very good blocking tight end, / he can get out there and every now and then make a pass catch. So nothing really surprising thus yet. Obviously, running back, tight end, quarterback, those were all non-surprising positions. From here on out, this is where we get okay, some real juicy stuff. We first go to the wide receiver room. Javon Baker, Kendrick Bourne, Kayshon Boutte, Efton Chisholm III, Stefon Diggs, Demario Douglas, Matt Collins, and Kyle Williams. Yes, you're reading that right. The New England Patriots have 8 wide receivers on their roster. 8 of them. There was talk about Kendrick Bourne being cut. He ends up staying on the roster. Obviously, the Patriots, they like Efton Chisholm III. He had a fantastic preseason, and being a UDF fan having that good, you deserve a roster spot. He's on there. Demario Douglas talked about him potentially being a cut candidate, but at the end of the day, I think the most surprising guy on here is Kendrick Bourne, and there was original talk that the Patriots were open to trading Kendrick Bourne. Javon Baker was also a potential cut candidate, so I'm shocked, to say the least, that the Patriots have decided to keep 8 different wide receivers, but in some ways that might tell you the way that they are going to run their offense, and I think also the bigger point behind this is that there were other positions that they felt so comfortable in having maybe a few, not as much depth, running back, quarterback, that they could afford to use a little bit of an extra depth here at the wide receiver position. I would have liked to keep just 7. I don't think Kendrick Bourne deserves a spot on this team, but at the same time, he is on the roster. We'll see how long it is. Obviously, when this was reported by Adam Schefter, he said, and I quote, "Life is fluid, but Kendrick Bourne makes the roster for now." So I do believe there might be some moves, some trades with Bourne in the upcoming future, but we'll have to wait and see what exactly those trades or moves might look like if it does come to fruition. The offensive line, a point of contention for some people. I think this is a really good group for what they picked. Garrett Bradbury, Ben Brown, Marcus Bryant, Will Campbell, Vidarian Lowe, the guy who caught a touchdown last year, Morgan Moses, Michael Wenu, Caden Wallace, and Jared Wilson are your offensive linemen. Yes, this does mean that Cole Strange, a first-round pick, is no longer on the New England Patriots. He has been waived. It is yet to be seen whether or not he will remain on the practice squad if anybody else picks him up. But he is a first-round pick, had 29 starts in 3 seasons. Now, he's not on the team. This is definitely a surprise to say the least, but I do think for the people saying that the Patriots should have kept him, who are you taking out in this situation? I'm not taking out really anybody in this group and putting in Cole Strange. I've said it in previous videos, but I think it's important, especially to mention now, especially with the 53-man roster out. This is a new era of Patriots football. This is trying to bring back the Tom Brady era of Patriots football. Cole Strange was past that era. There are people who were cut that were not in the winning era of Patriots football. With Mike Vrable back, it seems like Robert Kraft has also bought back in. I like the moves that Eliot Wolf has done. The Patriots have a ton of money to spend still, and they are making the right moves to build a winning organization. And that starts with no funny business. It doesn't matter if you're a first-round pick. It doesn't matter if we're paying you a lot of money. We are going to do what is best for the team, and I love it. I do love it. I think that should be the mindset for all NFL teams. Obviously, I like that it's mine and that we get to sit here and talk positively about the way we are handling our own organization. But in my opinion, across the NFL, there's money talks, there's all this stuff. And yes, that has to be a part of it. But if somebody is not worth putting on the roster, then don't put them on the roster. It's as simple as that, and that was the move that was made with Cole Strange. We go to the defense now, talking first about the defensive line. Nothing too surprising here. Christian Barrymore, Joshua Farmer, Jeremiah Farms Jr., Garris Tonga, Keon White, and Milton Williams. Mackay obviously gets cut in this situation, so Barrymore, Farmer, and Farms are the guys that I kind of expected to make. Past that, it was not necessarily a question. I loved the play. Milton Williams, obviously getting him signed this past offseason was great. Tonga and White. Keon had a great preseason and training camp, so really like to see him as well. Again, I think in some ways this was one position that I didn't really expect too much of a surprise there. Obviously, nothing big there in that aspect. We go to the linebacker room, something that was really, really overhauled when Mike Vrable came in as the head coach. Obviously, signing Robert Spillane, Kayvon Chason is in there as well. Harold Landry III, also a guy we got. But a couple of names that we need to focus in on. The first one, Anfernee Jennings. There was talk of the Patriots moving on from him, whether it be trade or just him not making the roster. Well, he has in fact made the roster, and that does not make sure that he will stay on the roster. I mean, he could easily be traded. A practice squad member could be added and then move him up. It's still kind of a fluid situation. I do believe, though, that Jennings is a better spot on this roster than a guy we're going to mention in just a moment. But also, another UDF fit. We talked about Efton Chisholm. Elijah Ponder does a great job making the roster here alongside Marte Mapu and, of course, Jack Gibbons, Christian Ellis, and then the top one, Kayvon Chason. So a couple of interesting guys there that make the roster. Ponder apparently has been a very, very good person in the team locker room, just overall a positive guy and somebody that across the organization everybody seems to like and enjoy his presence. In the cornerback room, this is a positive place for the New England Patriots. Seems like this will be a really strength of them. Your top three guys, Christian Gonzalez, Marcus Jones, Carlton Davis III, and then the backups, DJ James, Alex Austin are the two that make the roster. Once again, a position that you feel so comfortable in the top of the depth chart that you don't exactly need that amount of depth that you maybe need at other positions, hint, wide receiver. Austin and James performed well enough, gets the roster. I expect a couple of practice squad cornerbacks, though, just because of the lack of depth here. They're going to add at least one or two there so they can bring them up at the drop of a hat if, again, injuries happen in the NFL. If somebody does get injured, you're able to have somebody in the wings and somebody you like and has been in the organization. We go to the safety position, and here is another interesting name to look at. Kyle Duggar, he ends up making the roster. He is not traded just yet, and it seems as though there was no trade that was even close. Now, this is all coming from reports from Adam Schefter, who said that Duggar was not close to being traded, but he does make the roster. Same thing can be said about him, though, that we said about Kendrick Bourne. Life is fluid. There is a very real shot that maybe by the start of the season, he's not on the roster. And at the same time, even if he is on the roster, the likelihood of him playing is very slim. I don't see him playing in a actual, let's say, key role is the best way to put it. Like, he's not going to be out there playing in a majority of reps. Craig Woodson, Brandon Schooler, Del Pettis, Jabril Peppers, and Jalen Hawkins are the other safeties on this group. Again, a surprise here is Kyle Duggar. The question mark behind his trade still looms large, and whether or not he will be traded is still yet to be seen. However, at this current time, he is on the Patriots 53-man roster. And then finally, the last three spots, the special teams, Julian Ashby, Bryce Behringer, and of course, everybody, I saw the comments. The kicker battle's over. Andy does not have the stronger leg. Well, he beats out, was it Parker Romo, or whatever it was, Andy Borgelis, whatever you say it. I always get that name wrong. I've listened to his name 15,000 times. The kicker from Miami, Andy. I'm sorry, I apologize. But either way, Andy is a guy who has a very strong leg. And the biggest reason to me, you can sit there and argue in the comments that, Parker had a better leg or Romo, whatever his name was. However, at the same time, you have to understand they used a draft pick on a kicker in Miami Borgelis. So you're going to be more partial to him. You're going to be more partial into keeping him on the roster rather than keeping, somebody who you didn't draft. It allows for you to, first of all, have more control over Andy. Second of all, you've got a guy who you believe is at least close enough that you're going to keep. So that's how the kicker battle shapes out, and we have our starting kicker. That is the Patriots 53-man roster. Once again, here is the full photo of all the teams. I kind of zoomed in on each position, but you can have it right here and look at it and kind of see exactly the way it looks about. So, obviously, get in the comment section. Is there any surprise guys that didn't make it? Is there a surprise guy that got cut? Obviously, lots of things to discuss. We have a practice squad being formed as we speak. 16 slots, technically 17 if you have an international player. We will see exactly what the Patriots come up with, who will be in those 16 or 17 slots. I'll make a video on that as well. We appreciate every single one of you watching these videos, tuning in, and again, want to remind you, hit that subscribe button. Let's prove Jets Digest that we are full and happy here at Patriots Digest by hitting that subscribe button. And we're going to get out more and more Patriots content to you every single day as we get closer to the upcoming 2025 season, in which I'm seeing a very good year for Drake Maye and the boys. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time here on Patriots Digest. Peace out, guys.